Hi everyone, it's Sheena Hoke here, author of How to Get a Bachelor's Degree with Little to No Debt, a book that provides practical strategies for parents and students as they prepare their child to attend college, as well as a great resource for guidance counselors to help keep students on track as they plan to attend college. Today I'm going to do something a little different. Usually I talk about college topics, but I want to give a review for the documentary on Black Colleges We Are Rising. It's an independent lens documentary that was on PBS, and I thought it was very good and instrumental. I thought it had a lot of great insight in it. As you know, I went to a HBCU, so it was a very good documentary. It really made me think about a few things, and I just wanted to share those thoughts with you, and maybe you could provide a comment to say what your thoughts were. So the first thing is it showed to me the resilience of Black colleges and universities. And it really just showed how we have overcome a lot in our history. We have overcome a lot with segregation and Jim Crow laws and people saying that we couldn't do it, and we still did it, and we did it well. And so it made me think of the question, what are we doing today to still instill that resilience into students? I mean, if you look at our graduation rates, we have some of the lowest graduation rates. Like most of the HBCU's graduation rates are less than 50%. And I was talking with someone, and he was saying, well, it really has to be the right fit for the student. And I get that it has to be the right fit, but is it that we just don't value education as much as we once did? Because if you look at the documentary, it was a guy that was sitting outside of the classroom. He couldn't even sit in the classroom. He had to sit outside of the classroom just to learn and say that he could go to that school. And I believe he was going to a white school, but that just showed you his resilience in getting an education. So I'm sure that wasn't the right fit for him, yet he made it work so that he could get a degree and get an education. I feel like today we don't see that same resilience in our students. If we don't do things exactly the way they wanted to be done, whether professors, the faculty or staff, or the office personnel, they don't get exactly what they want, they're ready to quit or give up. So what can we do as the HBCUs, or what are the HBCUs doing to help people still have that resilience and value education and graduate, and understanding that everything in the world is not going to go according to what you think they should, the way you think they should go. That's just unrealistic. So one thing, I mean, he didn't speak about the graduation rates in the documentary. That's one thing I would like to see him have shown. Like, how was it back in the day versus the way it is today? Because a lot of the HBCU's graduation rates are less than 50%. So what happened? Is it just because we valued the education then because we wasn't able to get the education? Whereas now, because we have access to education, it's no longer that much of a value. So now you're seeing a lot of Black African American men don't go to school, or they're not graduating. If they do go to school, it's mostly the Black women who are doing the thing, and they're graduating and things of that nature. But still, if you look at our graduation rates overall from most schools, it's below 50%. So that's one thing I would like to see him have talked about in the review. The other thing that was a little sad to me was the highlight that he did on Morris Brown. And the reason why that was sad to me is because Morris Brown is in Atlanta. So it made me think initially, did Morris Brown reach out for help to some of the other schools down there? Because they have some of the prestigious HBCUs right there in Atlanta: Spelman, Morehouse, Clark Atlanta University. So how is it that Morris Brown is over here that's just dying? Like, did they reach out for help, or did any of the other schools reach out and say, hey, can we help you in some kind of way? If not financially, then can we help you with our leadership practices or strategies that we have in place to help our school run more efficient? Spelman, I believe, is like the #1 school for the highest graduation rates and giving rates for alumni who give back to the school. Spelman is up there as like one of the top schools. So did they seek help? And did Morris Brown seek help? And then also, did the other schools reach out to see if they could help them? Like, how are we staying connected in this fight? Because there are a lot of other schools that's going through the same thing today that have other schools around them, but who is standing up trying to help? Like, do we connect? Are we still connected to each other? Do we still try to help people? I mean, because when I saw about the Morris Brown initially, I immediately thought about Drumline. Like, Drumline came out in around 2003, 2000. 2002, 2003, somewhere in that time area. So I was like, that could have been a marketing stint right there to get money because they lost their accreditation in that 2003, I believe. In 2015, I believe they filed for bankruptcy. But I was just thinking in my head, like they could have used that as a way to, you know, market the school more if they knew they was going through some turbulent times. But I don't know, maybe that wasn't the case back then. But that's the first thing I initially thought of when I saw that whole institute, that whole like Morris Brown going down. Because I know other schools today that are going down, and what are we doing to like help them stay afloat? Do we even care, or do we just care about our schools and make sure they stay afloat? So that was one thing that it made me think about, like how we staying connected and helping each other out along the process as we continue to grow and to continue to be of value to our country. So that was one thing that made me think about. And then with that whole thing, also just the whole giving back, like how are we giving back to our schools? We have a lot of schools are beginning to increase diversity, which have less and less African American students. And one of the reasons why they do it is because of revenue, because they want to get some more monies flowing into the school. So I want to challenge you to give back to your HBCUs. If you know someone in your family that went to HBCU, give back to that school. Last year, I did a challenge with some of my friends to give back to 5 HBCUs. And the purpose of the challenge was really just to give back and support our schools. Like, we don't have enough of that. And other schools that give back, most of them are the female schools that give back the most. So I want to encourage, or make me think about, you know, giving back to HBCUs. Make sure that you give back to them. You know, we are still here. So, you know, let's try to help them stay afloat to give back. Another thing too, I know that some schools are beginning to do more of the online programs and things of that nature. And I know HBCUs we mostly known for our own campus experience and having that connection with the students and helping them to grow and develop that pride that we have when we go to HBCU. So yes, online programs I think are a way to grow revenues for our school, but I also think that if you attended the HBCU, whether you graduated or you didn't graduate, you should give something back to the school. And that could help us, you know, stay afloat because we're dying. And I was looking at one school, it's 92% not African American. So only 8% is African American. And the school after that was like 85-15. So you're starting to see more of a growth. Even the school that I went to, it said that it was 10% not African American and like 90% African American, but it's just showing how it's growing in that area. And some people say it's because of the sports. You know, we have Division I schools, or we have these good sports teams, so that's why we're growing in diversification. But I also think that it's because of the money. So I think that the documentary was good. It made me think about a few things. It challenged me, and hopefully it will challenge you. And hopefully you will consider looking at the documentary. It is on PBS. But write in the comments what you thought about the documentary. What are your thoughts about our graduation rates, about our giving back to the schools, about our support in each schools, because we're already down to like 103 HBCUs now. So what are we doing today in modern times to continue to support the schools? And we know usually in advance when the school is about to go down because you hear the rumors. Oh, they just lost their accreditation. Oh, they having money issues over there. So it's not like a shocker if you're in the area. You hear the rumors that the school is about to go down. So what are we doing then to support them if we are these HBCUs and we're right down the street from them? How are we trying to stay connected and support them and continue our legacy as we, you know, continue to move on in this country? So those are some of the things that I thought of. And I would like it if you could please post your comments, let me know your thoughts. And again, this is Sheena Hope. Like my page on Facebook, How to Get a Bachelor's Degree How to Get a Bachelor's Degree 1 on Facebook, and subscribe to my YouTube channel under my name, Sheena Hope. And you can always purchase my book on Amazon at How to Get a Bachelor's Degree with Little to No Debt. It includes a workbook for parents and students to work through. Thank you again, and please let me post your comments. Let me know your thoughts. What did you think about the documentary? What are some things you think we could do to change or improve? Or what are some things that you really like that stood out? For me, it was the resilience of Black people and the resilience of the Black colleges and universities and how we pushed through to get what we had to get done. So I